I dreamt I was a gopher, burrowing, burrowing, burrowing. Ball of fuzz, the kids throw rocks at me. My hole is in the ground, but it is my hole. Your hole is society. It is not your hole.
In 1953, upon the infestation of the Norwegian rat in North America, Alberta set up a task force to exterminate every rat within her borders. Today, an 8-man border patrol, the Rat Patrol, monitors and counters rat advances from the Saskatchewan, BC, and U.S. border. In April 1996, Roy Bessard, an Alberta MLA, suggested that the government consider exterminating every gopher in the province, the same way they had successfully disposed of the Norwegian rat. Meanwhile, in Torrington, Alberta, the Gopher Hole Museum had 50 stuffed gophers on display. In the midst of the gopher controversy, we found Len Thomas, an Alberta Gopher Rights Activist.
I made the mistake of saying that if we couldn't control them, maybe we should consider getting rid of them altogether, like we did with the rats in this province, because in my estimation and the estimation of a lot of farmers, a gopher is just another rodent with better public relations.
Hi, it's Len Thomas. I just keep on missing you. I've been calling quite a lot, but I've been really busy doing the flyers and organizing volunteer time and raising money, as I'm sure you know. I would like to get together with you and maybe do the interview. As I said, I've been really, really busy. Ever since the atrocities in Torrington, it's just been a madhouse, really.
Hi, I'm Diane Curta. I'm chairperson of Torrington Tourism. Welcome to the Torrington Gopher Hole Museum.
Why is it that you think the museum's attracted so much attention?
Just because of stuffed gophers. I mean, who in the world thought that anybody would stuff a gopher and put it on display for the public to see? We opened June the 8th of 1996, and this is 8 days later, and we've had 536 people through our museum in the last 8 days. So it's going great. And they're from all over the world. We've had people from England, Paris, Australia, Germany, and from the States, all through the States. Some of the ones that have a lot of detail, it took us about 2.5 to 3 days to complete one display case. That's the painting, the props, the getting the gophers. That was our hardest part, was getting the gophers.
How did you get the gophers?
A local farmer snared them for us last fall. He, I believe, snared about 40 of the gophers. And then this spring we had to get the other 14, and then, of course, it snowed, and all the gophers went back down. So we were really rushing to get the gophers before our grand opening.
You had a painter as well?
Yes, her name is Shelley Barkman, and she lives about 15 minutes east of Torrington here. She's never had a lesson in her life. She just has that natural talent. And she came in and she painted these displays inside the boxes. I mean, it's just not one wall and one side or the back, and they were put together. She actually went inside these boxes and painted. Actually, a gopher is quite hard to sew for because they have a hump in their back, and they actually have no hind legs. I mean, as they stand, there's no legs. Depending on the position, we asked the taxidermist to put the gopher in. Like our bank hold up, we wanted the teller holding her paws up. So for a taxidermist, it was quite a tedious job.
Do you think of the displays as art?
Yes, we do. Yes. This one depicts our beauty salon we have in town. And she's saying, I'm a beautician, not a magician. Again, if you look at the detail in the background, the towels, the shampoo bottles, the plant, and especially the gophers, their makeup, their hair, their clothes, the mirrors on the walls, You really have to come out and see these. Our church, it also has been in the paper, and it's been quite popular, and I believe it's because of the angel. So we have the pastor, we have a choir member, he's sleeping in the background, and our little angel hanging above. Everybody needs a guardian angel.
Oh, well, I think everyone has stories about gophers, actually. Yeah, geez, I don't know. Like, I'm involved with them every day, so, I mean, I have tons of stories, but, well, I mean, one of the reasons why I think I'm, like, well, basically kind of an activist right now involving gophers is basically, because when I did move, when we did move, like, just from outside of Lethbridge to Calgary, we had to get rid of all our animals because, you know, we lived in a small house here in Calgary, and we had to sell the dogs and all the pets. And my dad and mom let me keep a few of the smaller pets, and I had 2 gophers as pets, and that's basically all I had left of my acreage memories were those 2 gophers. And I was kind of a new kid. You know, new kids always get picked on when they first get to school, and it was pretty rough, pretty hard. And I had a kind of a speech impediment when I was younger, and anyways, one day it was show and tell, and I decided to, you know, bring my gophers because I was pretty proud of them. I kind of taught them to do like kind of tricks, and I was pretty proud of them and brought them to school. And on the way home, 2 bullies grabbed them from me, and well, basically, they were on their bikes. They grabbed them. They got away. I couldn't catch up because, you know, they got their bikes running as fast as I could. Couldn't catch up. Went home. Talked to my mom, telling my mom about it, and the next thing you know, I'm listening, and I hear the kids outside on the street. They're going, "Hey, vermin boy, you got your vermin out here." And like, I'm a total pacifist, but I looked out the window, and I saw them, and they had both my gophers behind on their banana bikes, dragging them with a rope, and I got really angry, and it's like one of the first times in my life that I remember being so angry. And I ran out the door, and they were kind of stopped to yell. They kind of stopped and yelled, and they were kind of doing their circles. So I managed to catch one of the kids, but I didn't grab him. I tried to grab my gopher because it was being dragged. Grabbed the gopher and managed to pull him from the bike. He was still alive in my hands, and then the 2 kids got off their bike and they grabbed me, and they started beating me up, and I was holding the gopher trying to protect it, but they got him out of my hands. I mean, there was 2 of them. I couldn't do anything, and basically, they killed him.
My first experience with gophers was basically an episode we had in our front lawn, actually, and we had a grove of trees, and it was one of those cultivated settings, but it also contained a family of gophers. And I would go home for lunch and quite often just sit out in the front steps and have a sandwich with my wife and watch these silly gophers because they seem to be so cute. After all, they are a squirrel in every sense of the word, so they have that squirrel appearance and attraction. But anyway, within 3 months they were no longer cute, and I was out there with a .22 trying to remove them because they were so destructive.
What do you think of Roy Bessard?
You know, some people just don't deserve to be recognized. To actually think to get rid of like gophers, getting rid of basically the base of the food chain. You've got hawks, coyotes, numbers of animals relying on gophers as the food chain. And I can't believe that people would indiscriminately kill something. You know, I've never killed anything. And, you know, basically I plan on being a thorn in his side.
My recommendation that we may perhaps consider getting rid of them altogether was facetious, to say the least. I recognize that would be almost an impossible task. However, I do think that we have to control them like anything else.
Hi, this is Len Thomas. I'm calling on behalf of the Gopher Relocation Program in Calgary. And what we basically do is we collect money and volunteer time. Ooh, that's a big no on that one.
Jeff and Brian. So I just saw an individual go into a hole over here. It looked like he was about a year, maybe 2 years. As you can see, this is what I was telling you about primal areas. look around the traffic. There's a train track down that way about 2 blocks. Parking lot here, they don't have much of a chance here. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to keep this water container here. Now, as I said, we saw a few individuals go down here. We've already scouted this hole out, and it appears like it's the only entrance. So here comes the water, all right? So now basically what we're doing is we're going to fill this container full of water, and once it's full, we're going to then flood the individuals out and catch them. We also have cages, and we're basically going to keep it as active as we can. When we do get the individuals, we're going to dry them off and make sure they keep warm, put them in the truck right away. All right, we just saw an individual go into this hole here, and Jeff got it covered up. This should be the one. All right, put it back a little bit here. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Okay, Len. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Okay. As you can see, there's the individual right there. We've got it. Now, Jeff's gonna go take that and nurture that and dry that off.
Hi, Bonnie. This is Len Thomas. I don't know if you remember me. We were talking. I was at your coffee store a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about Richardson ground squirrels. Yeah. No, I hope you don't mind me calling you at work. I was just basically, I was basically telling you about our rally and how we're getting it together, and basically I basically have a date confirmed. When we're having the rally, we still have to get the room, but yeah, it's on the 19th. Yeah, probably about 6 o'clock. Oh, I see. Is there? Oh, okay. Is there any way you could maybe rebook that, or no? Okay, they couldn't. Not a later flight or anything coming in. Yeah, well, I mean, the rally would probably last at least a couple of hours, what we think, and there'll be probably a lot of questions.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming here tonight and introduce everyone to Len Thomas.
Great, thank you, Jeff, for that warm welcome. I hope everyone got some fresh coffee and donuts there. I would like to begin this lecture with a little quote from the Alberta Report. On April 15th, Old Didsbury MLA Roy Bessard stood in the Legislative Assembly to ask whether the government of Alberta had considered taking steps to eliminate the very destructive gopher from the province entirely. Mr. Bessard's response to this was that he was being facetious. We all know Mr. Bessard is facetious. No, it's not. No, I don't think. No, a boyfriend. No. Okay. No, it's nothing sexual. It's just like it's part of the cause. We were talking about this before. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I understand. Yeah. I mean, I'm not allowed to take personal calls at work either. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know. Like we were talking about it, and she seemed pretty interested. But if you call people at work, sometimes, like I know my employer doesn't really allow me to take personal calls here. So. I think she was, when you talk to them in person, it's really hard over the phone. Oh, yeah. They like the face, they like the face-to-face contact. That's why. Yeah, I mean, the rally will be really great. It's going to be really good. We have a lot of guest speakers, and there's going to be a lot of people out for it, and it's really interesting. And yeah, your daughters for sure, get them involved because it's an important cause. Give me a call anytime. I'm willing to listen, and as I say, if you can donate any of your spare time to campaigning or whatever, that'd be great.
Okay, Len, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, thank
yep,
you.
Great, thanks very much.
Bye now.
Bye. Went really well. Went really well. So, as you can see, everyone is aware about this. Everyone is really excited about this. Getting a lot of positive feedback. I mean, this is what it's all about. Right now, this is what it's all about. He's going to come to the, he's going to be at the big big speech. He's probably going to bring his daughters. They'll bring friends, and you know, it's just like, it's like a snowball effect, really. You're going to see, it's all building up. Big snowball effect. Let's go to we're on a roll right now. We're going to go to the next house, and we'll just keep with this momentum. We'll keep it going, because it's momentum. I think it's important that we all consider this animal to be one of probably our most cherished natural resources. In fact, I think a lot of us feel that the gopher, Richardson ground squirrel, could replace the beaver as a national symbol. Yeah, well, it's a pretty serious issue, but thanks for your time anyways. Well, I mean, you get that response from a few people, not very many. I mean, most people are like, I mean, you can tell she's probably not from Canada. She had kind of an English accent. So I think that maybe she's not aware of the serious, serious consequences. I mean, 2 quick answers. Like, everyone's always looking for quick answers. You know, she just spouted off something about, oh yeah, why don't you stop building downtown? I mean, let's get real. You can't stop people from building downtown. I mean, that's what cities are for. And oh, let's put more wilderness in. I mean, you can tell she was probably British or something. I don't know. Despite the erosion of rural life, the breakup of the nuclear family, they're still looking for ways to stalk and to kill these poor, unsuspecting creatures. In our media, in our amusement parks, and in our politics. I would like to conclude by saying we are human beings. We're not animals. It is up to us to eliminate the destructive attitudes in society. We can all live together. You, me, the Gophers, in peace. There will be a question and answer period shortly. What I really rely on everyone to do is give their support either in time, perhaps money, funds. Please, feel free to come up and talk to me after the lecture. Are there any questions at all?
I would have liked to have seen more of a turnout. I'm not too sure why we didn't get it out. It might have been like the flyers or something. But, I think there are a lot of really good points raised up during the discussion. Everyone seemed to be pretty responsive to it. But it was okay. As I say, I would have liked to see more people.
Right. And where do you feel you go from here?
Well, right now, and me, Brian, and Jeff put a lot of work into this. I mean, we're not going to give up, and I don't think there's any indication tonight that we should at all. I think that we just play it by ear, and as I say, I'm still kind of coming down because put a lot of energy. Probably just tomorrow again get a group meeting, when we have a few new people maybe interested in it, and we'll just start kind of go from there, I guess.
What we're doing here is we're trying to find out if we can get a costume.
What would you need a costume for?
Well, as you know, my rally wasn't so great, and I thought I might change my approach to educating people about Richardson ground squirrels.
And so what does that mean?
Well, it seems to me that older people, the people which I was initially appealing to, didn't seem to have the time to stop and think about the atrocities that were happening. And so what I figure is I'll go towards the younger, like children, probably under 12.
And a person dressed in jeans and a nice dress shirt, that doesn't really go over well with kids. So kids love costumes. What do you think?
Have you ever heard of a gentleman named Len Thomas?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a gentleman named Len Thomas?
No, I haven't. Okay. Who is Len Thomas?
Great big gobs of grizzly, grimy gopher guts, chopped up monkey meat, percolated birdie feet, French fried eyeballs floating in a pot of blood. Gee, I forgot my spoon, but I got my straw. It's not a pot, it's a pool, okay? Yeah. Pot. Okay.